So the last one I want to show you is also in my book. And you should read the write up to it. The first time I used this fly, 87 pike from, I believe it was 35 to 42 inches in one day on this fly. The first time I used it, I timed everything perfectly. It was awesome. And I caught so many fish, I didn't know what to do. Like I was freaked out. But once again, this is a simple fly to tie. Once again, you're going to look at this and say, no way. And say, yes, sir. Oops. Okay. So this is winter storm. Now, usually I use silver tinsel, but I don't have any, so I'll just use this. And like I said, this is a cool thing about doing this fly. For fly tying, you can use any material you want. Okay, so once again, this will be crystal flash. I usually use a holographic silver tinsel or just straight silver tinsel for a tail, but I didn't bring any of that with me, so we'll substitute. So once again, I don't want this stuff to be pulled out. Lock it in. Boom. Now this is just about the actual fly. And like these, some of my best flies are the easiest to tie. It's just like when you look at them, everybody says, oh, that must have taken you a long time. No, it didn't. But the best thing I can tell you right now is fool around. Because the more you fool around, the better tire you're going to be. Because now you're experimenting with a whole pile of different fibers and materials. And just fool around and see what you come up with. Square that off. The other portion of my tail. Now, once again, you saw that I pushed it all the way around the hook shank. Now this is polar chenille. If I can find the corner, there it is. So now you want to tie it in so the fibers are actually going down like this. So this is the part that you tie in. Lay that along the side, tie it in. And you're pretty snug with your thread. Right? All you do is wrap the body. Pull all the long fibers back. And you do this all the way up the hook shank. I'm getting there. Don't worry. I'm getting there. It's taking a little bit of time, but I'm getting there. Okay, tie it off. Now, I do use another thread to build up the head so I can glue eyes on. Because the nano silk is not thick enough to build up the head unless you wrap just about the whole spool on there. But I have some, I do have the white thread here, but it's in my other bag at Gary's place. It's just not too smart because I knew I would forget it in there. So what I'll do is I'll just use another thread. It'll be a darker color, but it should be white. But basically the fly is finished. All I have to do is glue some eyes on. And the reason I build up the head is because it's easier to glue eyes on a thicker head than it is a small diameter head like this. Now, as you can see, this is going to take a couple minutes to get built up. Now, how many people are sitting there wondering, how the heck can he keep that amount of thread consistent when he's wrapping instead of doing this, right? When I hold my bobbin, the thread is against my thumb. I use my third finger to move the bobbin. Right? So when I'm tying, if you watch my finger, I'm always moving it, my third finger, and you'll see it move all the time. So I can just go like crazy. Now remember, this should be white thread. I prefer white thread. So that's close enough. Now in this pattern, I put on red and black eyes. So I apply the glue a little differently to this fly. Let me do this first. Get a couple eyes off here. Now this I do a little bit differently because I'll get a big dollop of goop in my toothpick. And I prefer using a toothpick as opposed to a bodkin because then you try and get goop off the bodkin. It sticks on pretty good. You can smooth that around. Get one eye. Now, if you want, you can get clear plastic cones that you put over the head that you can glue eyes on. The scoop virtually does the same thing. A little bit messier to work with. It doesn't give you a nice uniform head because you have to smooth it out with your fingers. So how easy was that ply to do?